Hi guys and welcome to another video on this channel. Today it's season 2 round 16 of the My Team career mode. It's the season final and we have a big championship fight. It's Fernando Alonso versus Lewis Hamilton and they have only 5 points between them. Verstappen was in the fight until last race where he DNF'd, and now he's 31 points behind Alonso in the standings. So it's only Alonso versus Hamilton, and it's gonna be a really interesting fight. But we have to fight our own battles as well. Although we are pretty much safe in P7. I think we have something like 15. Yeah, there you can see it. Oh, it's actually only 7 points in front of Alpine. So maybe not as safe as I thought we were in P7. We could lose out on that fight. So yeah, that's actually closer than I thought. So we definitely need to watch out for that as well in this race. And hopefully we can stay ahead of Alpine. I mean, they need to score 7 points, which would be either at least P6 with one car or at least P7 and P10. But they have to outscore us because we had a win in China this season. So they need 8 points, so like P7 and P9 at least. So even if we don't score points, I think Alpine has a worse car than we have. So to be honest, it's not a very high chance Alpine will gain 8 points on us. But we will see how this will end. And now in qualifying, first we have to get a good starting position. And Hamilton puts in a 24.4 as fastest lap of the session. So that's a good start for him. And we get rear-ended by the Alpine. I don't know if it was Ocon or... yeah, it was Ocon, and he's out of the session. I mean, we were just normally braking and he just rear-ends us. So, yeah, not really my fault. And then on our second lap, actually our last lap, because we had to repair the car, we missed the braking point into turn 6. And I actually went for another lap in a row, but right at the start in the first corner we already got blocked by Verstappen. Or I think it was Paris who blocked us. So yeah, it's not a good lap. red first sector. So that means we're probably gonna end up in P21. We're now 3 tenths down on our previous best time, so yeah, and we're losing even more. So that's if we can't get anything big in the last sector, which we can't because we lock up into turn 12. So that's gonna be P21 for the race, and we're out qualified by our teammate, and we go wide again and actually gained a 10th with that. So yeah, let's go to the race and see what we can do there.
This year's Formula 1 World Championship 2010 saw 4 drivers in contention for the title coming into this race, with Sebastian Vettel prevailing to become the youngest world champion to date. Is there one last sting in the tail awaiting us today? Well, it's time to find out here at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The Yas Marina circuit is made up of 3.28 miles of track, featuring 16 corners with 2 very long straights. DRS zones going into the heavy braking zones of both turn 5 and turn 7 offer plenty of potential for overtaking. The circuit comes with its fair share of tricky corners, which will certainly test a driver's braking management. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Oscar Piastri lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Norris, Sainz, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Perez, Albon, Stroll, Leclerc, Gasly, Bottas, Fittipaldi, Sargent, Joe, Magnussen, Ocon, Tsunoda, Helga, De Vries, and the owner driver rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And joining me for today's race once again is Anthony Davidson. They've had a fantastic campaign, a wonderful year. They come into this weekend's Grand Prix as a fully deserving champion.
I agree, it's been a truly impressive season, but championship or no, I don't think they'll be gently cruising around to the finish line. In fact, with points no longer a concern, there's a lot less to risk, so we may even see a more aggressive approach.
So I decided to take an engine penalty because my ICE was at, I think, 70% before the race. So I decided to take a new one. But further up the grid, Hamilton P2, Alonso P7. So that's pretty good for Hamilton. And actually Piastri, who's 16 points behind us in the driver standings, was on pole position. So maybe we even lose that P11 in the driver standings, but we will see. And now into turn 5, we go down the inside of many cars, and we're in P16 already. 6 places gained in the first sector. So that's pretty decent. But then on that 5, it didn't get any more. We actually lost a few seconds to the cars ahead. But the important thing is, Gasly is behind us. So Ocon would need P6 or higher to put Alpine ahead of us in the Constructors' Championship. And on the minimap you can see he's in P13. So that's pretty much safe for us in the standings. And then we make the same mistake we made in qualifying. We lock up into turn 6, and we have to let Gasly and Sargent go because we cut the chicane massively. And then Joe gets ahead of us as well, but we get him back in the right in the next corner. but now we want to take back P17 and P16. But we can't really do it.
Okay, mate, don't worry about the damage.
After we box, we are in P22. And then we spun the car around and hit the wall. And now our front wing is broken. And then a few laps later, safety car. And because we were behind the leaders, we are now a lap down, and we had to let everyone pass.
Got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
So we're last, and we are a lap down from everyone. And then I went to the left side to let everyone through on the right side, but I'm not sure if it was Gasly or Ocon, but he just went down our inside. Yeah, it was Ocon. And then into turn 5, I braked a little bit too late
We'll see you in Park Ferme.
and made a little bit of contact with him. Yeah, and in the end, there wasn't really happening much more. So it's P21 in the end.
For Formula One, and our drivers have all pushed themselves this season, making it one of the most
And
competitive
Alonso
seasons of
is
racing in
world
history.
champion.
There can only be one champion, however, and here they are now, our new Formula One World Drivers' Champion. Victory today then, but bittersweet.
So he defended his lead.
As the championship slips through their fingers. Even so, what a fantastic final race of the season this was. And talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
And the reason why Alonso defended his leads was because Hamilton retired from the lead of the race with just 2 laps to go. And Hamilton was leading the whole race. And then he had to retire the car with an engine failure. So he probably would have won the championship if he hadn't had the engine failure. So that's really frustrating. And now the season is over, and we secured P7 in the Constructors' Championship, and we secured P11 in the Drivers' Championship. And now I'm gonna let the stuff for the next season I'm gonna put the video footage in here, but I'm not gonna commentate that. So if you want to watch the rest and how I set up for next season. You can watch it, but without commentary. So, see you guys next time for season 3, and goodbye.
Ready for the next race weekend. As much as I love seeing big numbers on the books, we don't get any benefits from leaving it in the bank. Let's spend some of this cash.